We got a lot of new DC Multiverse figures to talk about today. So, previously at WonderCon this year, a lot of these figures were announced and they were shown as renders. Today, we are getting our first official look of all of these figures in hand. And without further ado, let's just dive into the news because there's so much to talk about. And let's start with this first photo here. So, this is, of course, just like the Dark Knight's Return Batman figure that we recently got, which was a repaint where he looks more like the cover art. And it seems like we're getting another one of these, but with the Kingdom Come Superman based on this comic book artwork. So, if you are interested in this sort of repaint, this is one that you can look forward to. It is going to be a Mcfarlane Toy Store exclusive, and they haven't announced when this is coming out, but they will provide, of course, official information soon enough when it does go up for pre-order. As for the next photo right here, this is probably a shocker to me because this is officially the first ever Ross Store exclusive DC Multiverse figure. You heard me correctly. Ross Store exclusive. So basically, what they did here is that they took the regular release of this Superman movie figure, which is the one that has the plastic soft cape, not the, cloth wire cape version from the theatrical edition, and they basically repacked it into a blister card. And he doesn't come with any accessories or the data profile card or figure stand. It's just the figure by itself. And I guess this is a good alternative option if you don't want to spend $25 on the regular version at the Target stores or Walmarts, wherever they're showing up right now, or even like $40+ on, that theatrical deluxe edition, right? So in this case, it's not a bad alternative. Now, how much does this figure cost? It's definitely going to be less than $25. That's for sure. I mean, it's at Ross. So, yeah, that's something that I'm going to be looking for because I'm not going to pass up on this sort of deal. I mean, why not? I want something from this movie. Might as well get it from Ross. It's not a bad idea. So there is this news that came out, which is quite surprising. We got a reveal of a 2-pack with the Merciless and the Batman Who Laughs. And this is probably one of those 2-packs where I was like, holy shit. Like, I don't have the original Merciless Build-A-Figure. I missed out on that entire build wave. I only have the Patina edition that they released, I think, a year or two ago, basically repainted in that sort of color. And that is the only version of Merciless that I have. I always wanted a proper Merciless figure with, like, the proper colors. And in this case, I'm down for this 2-pack. Now, will he have his helmeted head? I think he will, because in this case, he has his alternate, like, unmasked head, as you can see right there, which looks pretty freaking cool. So I'm sure he's going to probably come with his helmeted head. Now, in terms of the entire body sculpt here, it is the same exact figure that we saw back in that Build-A-Figure wave a long time ago. So it's the same exact figure. They just repainted it in this red color, and he doesn't look bad in this red color. I do like the color of this armor, so they did a really good job with that. And this base that they're standing on, that is going to be included in this 2-pack. And it looks really freaking cool. I like the base here. I like the details of it. It looks really nice. Hopefully when they show actual product images, we can see more details of what this base looks like. So there is Merciless. And of course, here is the Batman Who Laughs, which I've never read Dark Knight's Metal or Death Metal, this entire storyline. So I've never seen him in this costume before. I've only recognized him in his, like, iconic costume that we see this character in most of the time. But this is a very different look. And I like the fact that we're getting this into a figure. And it feels very timely. Because when you look back at, like, year one of DC Multiverse, we got a lot of Dark Knight's Metal stuff. And it just feels kind of interesting how we're getting that again in some ways. So this is really cool that we're getting another Batman Who Laughs figure in a very different costume. And I like this. Now, will this 2-pack be expensive? Probably, most likely, because a lot of these 2-packs are costing more than the usual price. In this case, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like $50 because of that freaking base that it comes with. Now, in terms of other accessories, hopefully this 2-pack does have a good amount of accessories because, they're probably going to charge higher prices. And they haven't said when this is coming out. So, most likely in the future we'll get more information on this, but it is definitely a 2-pack that I'm interested in, and I like what I'm seeing right here. So now, let's move on to the Page Punchers, because this is the next thing that they showed, and these were revealed at WonderCon. So, you have Superboy from Reign of the Supermen. The previous one we had was more of like, I think his 90s look, I'm not too sure, I don't remember, but this one is from Reign of the Supermen. It's based on that comic. So, it doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good. It is reusing the same body buck that the other Superboy came in. So, of course, it's going to reuse a lot of parts. But, nevertheless, I think it looks good. And if you are trying to complete your Reign of the Supermen shelf, well, there you go. This is one figure that you can look forward to. And for the next one, we have Wonder Woman, based on Wonder Woman issue number 1. Now, I don't remember what year this came out because I wasn't alive at this point in time, but I'm pretty sure this is the classic-looking Wonder Woman? Correct me in the comments. I don't know my history with comic book superhero designs, okay? So, but it doesn't look bad. I do like what I'm seeing here. It is a really cool-looking Wonder Woman, and I like the dress that she's wearing. And, yeah, the overall look of this figure does not look too bad. And hopefully she comes with a good amount of accessories, right? Because Page Punchers have been lacking with that in the last couple years. So, now, there is one Page Puncher figure that they did not reveal in the stream. And I'm pretty sure he's probably not finalized yet or something. He had the skull face. I don't remember his name. But if you go back to my video where I talked about the WonderCon reveals, he was listed as one of the Page Puncher renders. But they didn't show that in today's reveals. Instead, we got Steve Trevor. That is unexpected. I didn't think we would ever get a Steve Trevor in this line. But now this comes into question. If they can give Wonder Woman her love interest, which is Steve Trevor, when the hell are we getting a Lois Lane figure? Like, it's been 4 to 5 years of this line, and we still haven't gotten one version of Lois Lane in any form. And we're getting a Steve Trevor before we get a Lois Lane. This is wild. But there it is, Steve Trevor as a Page Puncher figure. And yeah, they did a pretty good job. I mean, this looks exactly what you would picture Steve Trevor to look like, right? Like, he is a military guy, so, there it is. Hopefully he has a alternate head sculpt where he doesn't have his hat on, because that'll be cool, to have like 2 different looks. But yeah, that was a surprise right there. I did not expect a Steve Trevor figure. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited because, man, this is the one character I didn't think we would ever get, because, in this line, we don't really get much of the civilian type of characters. He's not a civilian. He is a military soldier. But you get my point, right? So, yeah, there's Steve Trevor. And now on to the next batch of figures. This is the Mcfarlane digital stuff. And we finally have our first look at the Stephanie Brown Batgirl. And I think the execution here is exactly how I pictured it to be. And the figure looks pretty freaking good. I think they captured the look of Stephanie Brown here in the closest way possible to the source material. And for the cape, it is a cloth-wired cape. I'm pretty sure this is a reused cloth-wired cape from the Dune movie figures, because they did say that her hoodie can be pulled up because it does have wires on it. So that's a really smart way to reuse that cloth cape, because it works for characters like this. And the overall sculpt and everything, from what I can see right now, yeah, it doesn't look too bad. So this is definitely a figure that I have to pick up. And, man, there's a lot of figures here that I want to pick up, okay? There's a long list of them. Too many. So, there is Stephanie Brown. And, of course, we got the No Man Lands Batman, which, of course, was announced as one of the renders. And, yeah, it doesn't look too bad. it is, of course, reusing the Nightfall body buck, which is not new, but, it's just another Batman figure, and I'm not that crazy about Batman figures at this point when they just... I don't know, in this case, it doesn't really look too appealing to me. I know maybe for some of you out there it will, especially if you read this comic. Again, I've never read every single Batman comic, so I won't have an attachment to every iteration of Batman, right? So, but yeah, it doesn't look bad. I like the claw-fired cape and everything, but it's just Batman with pointy ears. So there is that for anyone who's excited for this version of Batman. And we got Monarch. I don't know who this character is. I'm going to be honest here. I don't, because I've never heard of this character ever. So he looks pretty cool, though. I do like the sculpt that they did to the design of this figure. And yeah, definitely a villain that I could probably pick up for the shelf wherever he fits in. I assume he fits in with any of the DC characters. So there is Monarch. And the last figure from this digital wave is Nightwing. Now, I don't know what version of Nightwing this is. His costume definitely reminds me a little bit of the Nightfall version because it does have those, lines right there. But in the stream, they called him Disco Nightwing. I'm not too sure if that's true, but he does have that crazy collar piece for the costume here. So there is this version of Nightwing. All right, on to the Target exclusives. And this is probably one of the figures I've been waiting for a very long time. We're finally getting a Mr. Miracle. I can't believe it took this long for a Mr. Miracle in this line. Like, why? Why did it take this long? But here it is, Mr. Miracle as a Target exclusive, which hopefully he'll be easier to find because I don't think he'll be that hard to track down when he comes out at the Target stores. Because right now, a certain other figure, Cyborg Superman from the Green Lantern comic, that version, has been quite a pain in the ass to hunt for. I have not seen any. I have not been able to find one. Don't even know when I will ever find a copy of that figure. But hopefully I will. Hopefully. But may my luck be better with Mr. Miracle whenever this figure comes out. And in terms of the overall look of the figure, yeah, they did a pretty good job here. It is reusing the same body buck that was used for Alan Scott Green Lantern. And of course, what was the other figure? Red Tornado. So in this case, I think it works. I think it's fine. And the final results here doesn't look too bad. And the next figure that we have that is going to be another Target exclusive is Sandman. No, it's not the other version of Sandman. It is DC's version of Sandman. Yes, I know the other version of Sandman was also published by DC Comics, but you get my point, okay? This is a character that I'm not familiar with, but what I like here is that this looks way better than the renders. I'm so glad that every time we, get those renders, like, the final result always turns out better than those renders. Sometimes they do, not all the time. I mean, a good example is that New 52 Superman. That's rough, okay? That doesn't look good. But in this case with Sandman, they did a pretty good job here, and I really like the execution of how this came out. His gas mask that he's wearing, the trench coat and everything. Now, of course, this body buck is a reuse of the Dark Knight's Trilogy Joker body buck, which we've seen before. It does have this interesting looking weapon. Don't know if that's a gun. I think it is a gun. Looks like one. So there is Sandman. All right, those are the Target exclusives. And now on to this batch of figures that are just regular releases. They're not exclusive to any stores. We have the Night Quest version of Azriel. Now, if you remember last year, I think it was last year, we did get a Azriel figure, which is the same exact one like the one you're seeing right now, just repainted this time in the black, gold, and red color. So it is the same exact figure, just repainted in a different color. But if you are somebody who's interested in completing all the Azriel suits and all that stuff, this is definitely something that you'll pick up. And for me, since I've never read Night Quests, I'm not familiar with this look with the character. So, but it doesn't look bad. I mean, the repaint is kind of cool. So there is that. And the next figure is Batwing 2.0. This is a surprise. I don't remember this being part of the renders, so this is definitely a new reveal here. So if you remember, we did get a Batwing before, but this is the 2.0 version. So now he has his mask covering his face. And I like this more than the first one. Honestly, because the first time I ever seen this character in the comics, he was wearing this color armor in that comic book that I read. I did not see the previous version before that. So this is one that I'll definitely pick up. It is, of course, the same figure. Everything's the same. It's just repainted and there's a different head sculpt. But it works. I mean, you made this body buck for Batwing. Might as well just reuse it for this 2.0 version. So definitely one figure that I will pick up in the future whenever this comes out. And now, on to the last figure in this batch. We have another Batman. Yes. Yeah, that's not a surprise. So, this one, I don't know what he's based on. I'm not familiar with the source material. But as you can see, he has a very evil-looking smile. I don't know what's going on there. And you want to talk about the pointy ears? This is like one of those situations where it's like, how pointy do you want his ears to be? Very pointy and long. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now with his ears on his mask. They're very pointy and long. So there's that. And he has a very sinister smile. So I don't know what's going on with this Batman. But there's another Batman, all right? That never ends. So there is that one. And now on to Collector Edition. So they did announce Beast Boy as a render, but now seeing what he looks like from this live stream, it's not a bad looking Beast Boy figure. I think they did a really good job here. And for someone like me who missed out on the Beast Boy figure that was released as a Walmart exclusive, this is definitely one that I want to pick up. However, they said something really strange in the live stream. They said that this is going to be a UCC exclusive. I don't even know what that even means. Like, what is a UCC exclusive? And why are you making this an exclusive? Like, it's getting crazy how every time we get, like, new DC Multiverse releases, there just seems to be a lot of figures that are just getting, like, locked into, like, store exclusives. And this is the one figure that I was just hoping just to be a regular released, DC figure. No exclusivity of any kind. But now they're like, oh yeah, it's a UCC exclusive. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound good. Like, that sounds really bad, whatever that is. So, yeah, that's something to let all of you out there know about this in case you did not see the news this morning. So there's that. And they said he will come with 3 animal accessories. They're only showing like 2 of them. So you get a snake, you get a rat, and maybe the third one is a tiger. Because, he does turn into a tiger. Well, he turns into all kinds of animals. Yeah, maybe a tiger might be the third one. And if you notice what he's holding in his hand, he's holding a slice of pizza. That's interesting. Why give him a slice of pizza? I don't know. But, that's cool. So there is Beast Boy, which is not too bad. But again, UCC exclusive. Why? Alright, the next figure we got is Mirror Master, and from the information that they have provided now, it doesn't sound like he's going to be a Platinum Chase variant. Because originally, in those renders, they labeled a couple figures as chases. And of course, now we know that some of those information has changed, right? Like a good example is the regular Cyborg Superman that was released during the whole GameStop week. That turned out not to be a red Platinum Chase at all. It's just a regular release figure that is now out there in the stores. They never updated on anything about like when that figure would ever go up on Amazon, any of those. Like, it's now being found at Walmart's, apparently. So yeah, they've changed things. And for example, the new 52 Superman turned out to be a gold label at Target, right? Originally, it was labeled as a red Platinum Chase as well. So in this case, I'm glad Mirror Master is not a Chase variant. They said that he will go up for pre-order in the future when they have that information. So it sounds like he's just going to be a regular release collector edition figure, which I think is a good thing. Because if you are trying to complete your Flash Rogues gallery, Why make a figure that everybody probably would want for that shelf a chase variant? Because that's usually very hard to find, and it's limited in quantity, so that's not a good idea. So I'm glad they changed that. And as you can see, he does have some cool accessories here. He has these guns, which I think are what he uses to go into the mirror dimensions. He has 2 of them, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's basically all they showed. Like, don't know what else he's going to come with in terms of accessories. Maybe faceplates, right? They've been doing that a lot with some of the collector edition figures. So hopefully he comes with more in the box. As for the next reveal, we have Metron with his chair, the Mobius chair, I believe that's what it was called. So yeah, it's not a bad looking Metron figure. I like the way that it came out, and the chair looks pretty cool too. Now, what I'm kind of worried about here is that they have given us chair accessories in the past, I believe twice. So there was the Darkseid Lex Luthor figure, if you remember that one that came with the throne chair. And there was also the Black Adam movie figure that was a Target exclusive that also came with his throne. And those 2 chairs were pretty much hollow plastic, right? Like, they didn't have any sort of weight to them. Oh, and of course the Darkseid, the Zack Snyder Darkseid figure that they released last year, right? He also came with a throne, and it's just like cheap plastic. So I have a feeling that this chair that he's going to be sitting on here is not going to have much weight to the plastic. It's probably going to be the same way. So that's kind of bad when it comes to plastic quality. But I guess in terms of the sculpt here, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it looks pretty close to the source material that it's based from. But I just hate when they use like really hollow plastic for these sort of accessories because, you know, I think they're cool. I think it's cool to see action figures, especially like the ones that do come with chairs or thrones. It's awesome. Overall, looks really good when you put the figure on the chair, right? So the presentation is not bad. And hopefully he does come with a good amount of accessories as well. What they are, I don't actually know, because when it comes to Metron's character, you don't ever really see him fight anybody. He's usually just sitting on his chair or flying around in space. That's how I always remember the character. So, probably most likely just interchangeable hands, a few faceplates. That's probably it. That's what I can think to give him. Yeah, so there's Metron. And now, I think this is the final one, right? Let me check. It is. Okay. All right, just confirming here. We got Deathstroke. Now, they did not show him holding any weapons, but I assume he's probably going to have his sword, right? That has to be something that he comes with. He will probably have guns, for sure, right? Because the next photo here, because I took another screenshot, as you can see right there, he does have a gun accessory that is stored in his holster. Most likely, he will be holding that as a weapon in his hand, or you can store it into the holster. So that's pretty cool. The overall scope of this figure, though, looks really good. I like the look here. I like everything they did. So if you are a fan of the classic Deathstroke look, there it is, right? He got his ammo belt strap thing, whatever you call those, that he's wearing around him. His mask looks pretty cool in the head sculpt. And just the overall look here is just very much classic Deathstroke. So there is that. And yeah, that's the photo where I showed the gun. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's all the news. That's every single new reveal that we got today of all these figures. And there's a lot, right? There's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of figures here that are on my list that I would love to pick up, but of course this is going to be very costly. It's going to cost a lot of money. Hopefully some of these I will pick up right away. Some of these will stay around and maybe I can pick them up when they go on sale. But yeah, the only disappointment here for me today is just the fact that why does he have to be an exclusive? Why, Mcfarlane? It's like the first time you made him an exclusive, and now you make him an exclusive again. Like, this is not fair. I just want a proper Beast Boy. I have the Titans Beast Boy, but there's that. Okay, and that pretty much wraps up everything So, if you found today's video of me just reacting to all this new DC Multiverse reveals enjoyable, give this video a like. If you want to subscribe to the channel for more action figure content and whatever else I do on here, like that notification that you just saw with the Transformers Forged Fight, you can subscribe. You don't have to. In the end of the day, I make these videos for fun. And with that said, take care, and I will see you in the next video.